Wait, hold on. Let's take it back a step. And stop. Alright, that's good. Now, let me tell you a story about a man who is taking the NFL world by storm right now and is dominating the league every single year. This dominance stems from a unique style of play that is slowly starting to scare the entire league and is quickly propelling him into the conversation with some of the all-time greats. His name? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick LeVon Mahomes II was born on September 17th, 1995 in the small city of Tyler, Texas. Now, Patrick didn't have an ordinary childhood, nor did he have any ordinary genetics.
0-1 to Mahomes. Line drive left center field. Closing fast is Rodriguez. Diving. Can't get it. Base hit.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes Sr. was pretty good at the whole baseball thing. Patrick Mahomes Sr. was a pitcher for the Twins, Red Sox, Mets, Rangers, Cubs, and Pirates. And he was ready for Patrick to follow in his footsteps as he got involved with baseball super early. And growing up, it seemed like Patrick was ready for this challenge as he played baseball primarily during his time at White House High School in Texas. And even though baseball was his primary sport, this wasn't the only sport Patrick played, as he used his athletic genes to dominate both the gridiron as well as the basketball court. He honestly could have went D1 in all three sports. But football and baseball were the two main sports where Mahomes gathered the most attention, as he threw for 4,619 yards and scored 65 total touchdowns in his senior season, and then proceeded to throw a no-hitter with 16 strikeouts that same year, and he was named the Male Athlete of the Year by Max Preps for the 2013 season. But despite the athletic background and the incredibly impressive numbers, Mahomes only had a 3-star rating due to having horrible mechanics and being unnecessarily aggressive. I mean, look at that. Does that look like a quarterback throwing motion to you? Like bro's throwing that like a second baseman. And because of those two flaws, it almost seemed like he was due to fail at the next level. A lot of scouts agreed, as coming out of high school, only 3 schools were willing to take a chance on Patrick. Those schools being Rice, Houston, and Texas Tech. Mahomes would end up committing to Texas Tech, and he would be the backup quarterback behind Davis Webb, and he knew that he had a lot of work to do to prove himself as more than just a project quarterback.
New experience. I mean, these last couple of years I've had to compete for the starting spot and had to worry about trying to get my job and trying to lead after that.
During his freshman season, Patrick Mahomes would ride the bench for most of the year, but when an opportunity to play came along due to a Davis Webb injury, Mahomes knew that he had to take advantage of the opportunity. They would end up losing that game 45-35. But with the Davis Webb shoulder injury becoming a long-term issue, Mahomes would get his first start against the Texas Longhorns.
We cook up some young quarterbacks. The freshman Patrick Mahomes gets his first ever start for Texas Tech, adorned in the red, white, and blue Lone Star State helmet. The defense has moved back to running back, is in the game now, number 34. There's a quick slant to Sadler.
He ended up throwing for 13 for 21 and 109 yards in that game, and Mahomes would remain the starter for the remainder of the season, and in the final game of the year against the number 7 ranked Baylor Bears, he would put the world on notice.
To it. Oh yeah. 1st and 10, backside heat coming on Mahomes, just got rid of it, and did he ever? Touchdown! In motion. They hit the edge. Marquez, touchdown! Mahomes with all day, and now has a man downfield. Marquez, touchdown, Red Raiders! Mahomes would end up finishing that game with 609 passing yards and 6 touchdowns and just 1 interception. This performance would secure him the starting job for the following season, and let's just say the rest is history.
To it, and the more they practice it, the more they liked it.
Mahomes out of the pocket. Back foot throw, but look what he's still got on it. Oh my! What a throw and catch to Reginald Davis! 2nd and 7. Mahomes pulls, has a block from Reed, has a Texas Tech touchdown. Weekend with family and friends. This is Texas Tech taking over after another turnover on downs, and Mahomes wants another deep shot. Connects.
Patrick would end up quitting baseball to light the college world on fire with his rocker for an arm and his love for the deep ball. But despite this, NFL scouts still had their doubts regarding his ability to control said arm, his poor mechanics, and his overall aggressive play style. Mahomes would end up finishing his collegiate career with 11,252 passing yards and 93 touchdowns. He would declare for the NFL draft at the end of his junior year, and he gathered a lot of attention at the NFL Combine when his passes came off his hand at a combine record 60 miles per hour. His genetics were in true display during the Combine, and many scouts had him as a low floor, high ceiling type of prospect, where his ceiling could only be met with a proper coaching and him learning to control that monster arm that he has. He was projected to be a late first round pick, and as the 2017 NFL draft began, it seemed that would most likely be the case for the Red Raiders quarterback until one team decided to take a chance on him.
The Kansas City Chiefs no longer have a first-round pick in next year's draft. Wow. They just traded it along with the 91st overall pick tomorrow night and their first-round pick tonight to move up 17 spots. And this may be the time Deshaun Watson comes out of the green room.
With the 10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, the second quarterback.
It is Patrick Mahomes the second.
The Chiefs took a massive risk at the plate when deciding to trade it for the gunslinger quarterback, as Mahomes was a project, but he had all the right physical traits. However, with an aging Alex Smith currently as their franchise guy, they knew that they had to find his replacement soon enough. So they decided to take a full count swing, sending Buffalo their first round pick the next year. Just like in college, Mahomes would ride the bench in his first year, as Smith would be the starting quarterback for the majority of the season, and he played well enough to secure KC a playoff spot. But with the final game of the season versus the Denver Broncos coming up, head coach Andy Reid decided to give Mahomes his first moment.
Blackledge, the last time they drafted a quarterback this high in Kansas City. And he's going to be the first rookie quarterback for them to start a game in 38 years. Tailback. 3rd down and 10. Mahomes deep down the middle, and it is caught. 3-yarder. Mahomes trying to get him closer, heading the wrong way, and still has the arm strength to hit DeMarcus Robinson.
This performance would convince the Chiefs coaching staff to give Mahomes the keys to the Chiefs kingdom in his second season as they traded away Alex Smith to Washington. And well, let's just say Mahomes took advantage of it.
And Spencer Ware in the backfield. Pressure now on Mahomes. He's in trouble. Now gets it away. Are you kidding me?
Kelsey's in man on the drag.
Here comes Von Miller. Oh, how did he pull that? Mahomes with time going deep. Has a man open. Got him in stride. Tyreek Hill touchdown.
Mahomes' journey in the pros was very similar to his journey in college, as his ability to extend plays and fire the ball from all sorts of different arm angles was a style of play that hasn't been successful in the NFL since the Brett Favre days, and he instantly became a fan favorite. He was a shortstop playing quarterback, and his baseball genetics helped propel him to the MVP trophy in 2018 as he threw for 5,097 yards and 50 touchdowns. The Chiefs eventually lost to the Brady-led Patriots in the AFC Championship game, but Patrick would get his revenge by making it to his first Super Bowl the following season.
Launches down the middle. Hill open. Caught.
Against Richard Sherman.
Mahomes throws. Pass. Caught. Williams. Touchdown.
First question to you, it's an easy one. You're the MVP of Super Bowl 54. Where are you going?
Something I've wanted to say my whole life. I'm going to Disney World.
The carnage wouldn't stop there, as Mahomes would continue to put up 4,000-yard seasons and has yet to not make the AFC title game as a full-time starter. Of course, when you start to win as much as Mahomes, your name starts to get thrown around with the all-time greats.
Brady or Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady.
Mahomes like Brady. He makes every single play.
All this talk about Mahomes' dominance has put him in comparison with some of the best to ever do it. And this includes Brady. So let's settle the matter. Let's compare him to Brady right now based on where Mahomes is at in his career. After 7 years of being in the league, this is how they stack up. Mahomes leads in passing yards, passing touchdowns, completion percentage, yards per attempt, quarterback rating, interceptions, yards per game. Mahomes leads in the amount of MVPs, and they're tied in the amount of rings. Based on this, the advantage goes entirely to Mahomes. His aggressive nature to shoot for the fences and constantly push the ball downfield has skyrocketed him in front of Brady in nearly every meaningful stat. While Brady had an effective deep ball, he was a lot more of a methodical passer, while Mahomes is always looking for the home run, much like his dad. Now, while this play style is incredibly exciting to watch, the main question surrounding Mahomes is his longevity, as Brady's laid-back and conservative decision-making allowed him to stay in the league for as long as he did. So let's say by some miracle, Mahomes is able to keep himself going at the current level for the same amount of time that Brady was in the league. How do the stats compare? Let's take a look. So Mahomes would lead in passing yards, passing touchdowns, completion percentage, yards per attempt, quarterback rating, interceptions, and yards per game. While highly unlikely, especially because Mahomes recently posted a career high in rushing attempts, Mahomes would smoke Brady in every category and would easily go down as the greatest to ever do it if he finds the same amount of postseason success as Tom did. That gunslinger play style typically leads to shorter careers in the league due to the wear and tear it can have in your body. So for a more realistic comparison, let's take a look about how Mahomes would stack up to Brady if he played in the league the same amount of years as fellow gunslinger Brett Favre. Mahomes would lead in passing yards, passing touchdowns, completion percentage, yards per attempt, quarterback rating. Brady would lead in interceptions by 1, but Mahomes would have yards per game. Advantage once again to Patrick Mahomes. His baseball background and ability to naturally throw the football like a shortstop allows him to do stuff like this.
Mahomes flushed out again all the way back. Turning the corner, fires downfield.
And this.
4th and 9. They're chasing after him. Mahomes in trouble, flings it across his body, and it's caught by Hall.
And while Brady is more of your traditional quarterback, Mahomes is the ultimate improviser, especially in the clutch. The scary truth about Patrick Mahomes is not that he's on track to beat Brady, he's already beating him in every single category. Let's now take a look at the averages Mahomes has at this point in his career and compare him to Brady's career averages. Mahomes would lead in passing yards, passing touchdowns, completion percentage, yards per attempt, quarterback rating, interceptions, and yards per game. Mahomes would have to have a major injury in order to lose the lead he has on Tom, and now all Mahomes has to do is to maintain his longevity, and he will easily go down as the greatest to ever do it. And I'm confident he will, because if there's one thing that's starting to become abundantly clear, is to never doubt Mahomes. The truth is that Mahomes is here to stay and will continue to terrorize the league for years to come, and will become increasingly dangerous the more talent he gets around him. And he's already moving light years ahead of Brady due to the play style that he inherited from his dad. And at this point, it's safe to say that the Chiefs using a first-round pick to go up and get Mahomes was definitely a home run.